So I have a few questions for you, and one of them is of course, how did you get that idea to take a piece that exists already, in this case the Brahms Fourth Symphony, and do music with it and do something else with it than just play it?
It's something I like to do, and I did a few times in different contexts. And I think the potential we have with our culture and tradition, musical tradition, as many different visions can be extended from this culture. Yes, here we have the cello and the DJ. It's like this the fact to put these two instruments, one instrument solist, the cello usual solist instrument, and the DJ not so used in as a solist of an orchestra. The Fourth Symphony for me was a beautiful piece to create this link and this connection, and to transform, adapt, creating things around to make this meeting possible. And I really like the fact that when we use like an old music of the past, it brings always in different contexts a different flow of emotions. Of course, you can compose something totally new, but when you refer to the past, you create other perspective, emotional perspective.
Through the process of remembering the past or recognizing the past, or also just to hear these type of tonalities?
I mean, the both, everything, the process of the symphony is there all the time, in fact, but sometimes you can hear it clearly, and sometimes it disappears. It's a little bit like the painting, when very old painting, when some part of the painting are still very clear, and some part of the painting are not clear anymore, they're disappearing. It's like the time eats the work. And the moment the time eats the work, you have another dimension of time coming. The present is there. When you are in front of an old painting, especially when it's on the walls, for example, each time you see something clearly, okay, you just absorb or what you see, you receive from what you see, but what it's already on disappearing, you can imagine something. And what was there? Why we don't see anymore? And there we see clearly, because you imagine it could be this. And I like in that piece, because I like in that piece to create this kind of things, The DJing is also, the process of DJing was for a long period, like to create something new with element of the past, because
that's true. Yeah.
Then and it still continue, and it's okay. You take this element of the past, rhythmic thing, groovy things, harmonic things, part of just samples of
sampling,
melody.
yeah.
And now suddenly you have the past is living in the present. And I that's why for me that piece works the best when there are very young people who plays the piece,
Right, because it has to do with past, it has to do with present, it has to do with timeline, it has to do with memory as well, and imagination. I haven't thought of this, but that's really true.
And this then it opened a proposition for the future, because the combination of elements
Yeah.
You can open your vision in another way. You can open your heart, your emotions,
Yeah.
and for me, what is important is then it's an experience to live for the audience as well as for the musicians, more than just a concert.
Right. Right. Right.
You know, then we don't, when you know when you know this symphony, you always recognize something a moment and another, and after you lose a track, you know, and after you come back to the track, there's the, in psychanalysis they say that you love what you recognize, and I like very much the fact you are somewhere, and you know, you recognize a part of the symphony when you are into the strings and this orchestral and these horn things. The moment the DJing comes back, you remember, you recognize the DJing in another way, and you always play with this different, this different, and also the attitude change when a cello player plays solist. You have your physicality takes a special position to hear and to listen and to live these things, and suddenly the DJing changed your physicality, and you come back in another physicality, and this is like a game of perceptions.
Right, and experiences. Yeah.
Yes.
Now, in the performance in Tanglewood, what's going to be new? What are the new elements that we're going to have in this new version of this piece?
What is the first thing which is new is the fact that Wendell will create a part, and it will because you know the DJing comes from the orality, and the cello comes from what is written, and the combination with orality and written things are in interaction. Then Wendell will create something which is specific. He will just inject his vision into the piece. I would love to play also a saxophone player in the piece with all these young people. Then to share.
And that's new, right? That's a completely new thing in this piece.
Totally, yes, and it's also I can also share my experience of sounds in another way. Which is not DJing, which is not orchestral instrument, which is not cello. It's a saxophone. It's another flow. It's another way. It's another way to breathe, and it's not another way to express experience and elements. And I'm really, I think it's important to reconsider all the elements, and to share all together this, you know, if you have to change things in the music to make it really their music, the music of those young musicians, this piece should be their own piece,
and not his story but their story.
Exactly. Beautiful.
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. Just to wrap it up, and of course it's a huge question, but maybe you can just tap into briefly what are some of the musical and spiritual influences that have been most important for you to develop the type of musical and artistic language that you have right now?
I think the everything is an experience. Each moment of the life, it's something new. As I'm used to say, you know, it's like at each second, never each new second never existed before. Right. For us now talking, at the same time, people in the street, for the birds, for the animals, for what is deep in the ocean and in the air or whatever. Everything is new for the mountains and for everything. Then everything is it's a huge, you know, there's so huge energy each second from the whole universe, and we have just to use a small drop of this to continue to be creative. And this is very important. After, I'm used to travel a lot, to meet a lot of people from all over the world, playing with so many musicians and artists, and creating with them, living with them, sharing a lot of experience. This is a flow, it never stops. And I really like I'm fascinated by all the oral process of memories, experiences, as well. I'm fascinated by what the fact to write so precisely sometimes sounds, and it's amazing the human being capacity of creating, and this all this memory are the how to say, les témoins, we say in French, the
witness.
Yeah, the witness of culture, of experiences, of emotions for a lot of things. With this Brahms symphony, also what was for me important in the work, and it's most of the time it's very important in any kind of things. I really like gypsy things, the gypsy soul,
Roma tradition. Yeah.
Yeah, this tradition of expressing things, and I like to reconnect with different things, you know.
Yeah.
I like the African drummings, the Indian way to develop structures, I like when these different things are suddenly in a space, you know, connected, and go into, takes, how to say, they goes into resonances.
Yeah.
Resonance of all these things for me are very important. Then everything is I'm sure when we'll have this experience all together with these young people and Wendell and you, and it will be another huge flow of inspiration for me to do other things, you know.
Yeah,
The next contact with the intense vibrations to go to another one.
Wow, beautiful. I think let's wrap it up with this. We're so excited, and very much looking forward to having you here, to have Wendell here and Sebastian on the cello, together with ESYO, and going to Tanglewood on June 12th.
Yeah, I'm very excited to discover all these things, and to feel the moment all this energy will go together. But it's when we work with the young and very young, or even whatever, but young is very precious, you know, because they are the future. Sometimes the old system, the society system, sometimes they don't realize they have this beautiful natural big power to change the world.
Right.
Sometimes we don't use enough this capacity, because they have such amazing energy, and I think that's what we have to share all together, and I hope they will be free to express this beautiful and amazing energy they have naturally, and to give it must be also a space of freedom, a freedom of acting, playing, freedom of speech, freedom of for them to express what they are.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a huge challenge for us, a huge responsibility, which I take super seriously, and we need to have fun also collectively with the period we just went through. It's very important. We have to laugh. We have to vibe. We have to dance if it's necessary. We have to, you know, just we have to live this community experience as a light for the future.
Yeah, and as you said, especially after coming out of a period that where those things were very constricted. Absolutely.
We'll do it.
We'll do it.
Yeah.
All right. See you soon. Thank you so much for your time.